The LEGO series of games is known for bringing a cute, humorous light on a franchise. LEGO Star Wars and LEGO Star Wars 2 were no different, and LEGO Star Wars 3 keeps up with this tradition. LucasArts is on their game bringing humor to a very serious situation in the Star Wars universe. Here you see the end of the Clone Wars movie, where Mace Windu is introduced into the arena, and instead of just going at it and being all serious, they bring ice cream as the main reason why Jango Fett needed to die. Right off the bat, you'll notice that LEGO Star Wars 3 has a lot of enhancements over the previous games. You'll notice the graphics are a lot better in the environments and the characters and the lighting, and basically everything looks much, much better. The character models overall are basically the same, and the textures are still pretty bland on the characters. However, you'll notice that the textures on the environment have increased a lot. You'll also notice that there are a lot more characters or enemies present at any given time, so that makes this feel much, much bigger. And they introduce this right away with the large arena battle, and you're just stuck in mobs and mobs and mobs of enemies, and it really gives you a good feel of how the game's going to go. Here you can see they even added darker environments, which you didn't really have much of in the LEGO Star Wars 2 game, and due to the updated graphics, the game looks a lot better. And then you just get swarmed again. This does happen frequently in the game, however, it's not so overwhelming to where you just die all the time. Luckily, in this game, the Jedis are much, much more powerful and actually feel like real Jedis. It seems like LucasArts went ahead and blended together elements of Force Unleashed and LEGO Star Wars, so you kind of have a little hybrid combination. You have new Jedi abilities where you can cut through walls, which you see in the movies, and you can go ahead and throw your lightsaber now, which is a staple of most Star Wars games, which has not been introduced until now into the LEGO series. This, with increased usage of your Force powers, makes you feel much more like a Jedi, and as I stated, it feels more like the Force Unleashed at times, using your powers. You also have little cut sequences where you go ahead and start slicing away at larger enemies in a nice little animation, which, like I said, reminds me a lot of the Force Unleashed. And this makes the game feel more full, whereas the other LEGO Star Wars games feel very flat, and you just feel like a LEGO character. In this, you actually feel like a Jedi. The other character types also have new abilities. In this one, you have a clone trooper who actually carries around a minigun, which is pretty fun. This is something that was not available in the other LEGO Star Wars games. Returning are rocket-toting clone soldiers. The good news is in this game, when you're near the explosion, you don't actually die. So these characters are actually useful. Whereas in LEGO Star Wars 2, I hated using any of the rocket shooters because you'll end up blowing yourself up more often than not. Also new to LEGO Star Wars 3 are Commander Troopers, who can command a little squadron of CPU-controlled soldiers, which the game makes good use of, using them for puzzle combinations. The vehicle sequences in LEGO Star Wars 3 are a lot more fun as well. This is mainly due to the fact that you have much larger battles going on, so you don't feel isolated to driving around an AT-ST shooting one or two guys at a time. This time, you're going around and you're fighting off actual waves and waves of enemies. This makes use of larger vehicles as well because you have an expanded area. Driving around in a tank and just blowing the crap out of a droid army is actually a lot of fun in LEGO Star Wars 3. The vehicle sequences in LEGO Star Wars 2 were more mundane, trying to break up the gameplay a little bit, but in LEGO Star Wars 3 they're actually enjoyable. The space sequences are also more enjoyable due to the fact that you have different areas you have to go to. Sometimes you have to jump out of your jet fighter and open up and unlock new areas or weapons to get you to the next area. The enhanced graphics make the explosions of these ships fantastic, especially compared to the previous LEGO Star Wars games. Also in space, there are a lot more mobs, just like in the rest of the game, and this makes you feel like you're actually engaged in a galactic-wide space battle, instead of just going around and blowing up a couple ships here and there, and then poof, you end the level. In this, it feels like everything is crucial, and you feel like you can be shot down at any time because there's laser blasts going on all around you. Another cool new feature to LEGO Star Wars 3 is the ability to switch between characters that are at completely different parts of the game. One character can solve a puzzle in one area, and another character can solve a puzzle in another area, and this is how they combine and meet up together. This makes the game a little bit more strategic. It adds another level to the intricacy of the gameplay and how you have to go about problem solving. So while one character might be fighting a boss, the other character might have to go ahead and figure out a way to get in there and try to save them. This adds a lot more depth to the levels and shows how everybody's working as a team instead of it just being a very linear story style. Gone is the cantina and the doors you walk through to choose your levels. Instead, in this game, you're on a cruiser, and to select the levels, you go ahead and sit on a holopad, and you get to pick which ones you want to go to. Unlike the LEGO Star Wars 2, where everything was very linear, in this one you can go ahead and pick which story arc that you'd like to play through. This allows a little bit more freedom, and you get to go where you want to instead of being forced to follow a straight line. Overall, this game boasts some huge advancements over the previous LEGO Star Wars games. If you like the previous ones, you're going to absolutely love this game. Like I said, they went ahead and added a lot of Force Unleashed elements to this. If you enjoyed that game, you may enjoy this one if you didn't like the original LEGO Star Wars. However, I enjoyed both of those games, and this game is fantastic. I like how they went ahead and blended it together, and they kept the game humorous and fresh. I give this game high marks, and I recommend it to anybody who likes Star Wars.